talk.
Yeah. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, October 13th, we'll call this meeting to order. Any changes on the agenda?
I had none.
I had none.
So I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second?
I'm assuming no further discussion, so all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The agenda is approved, and how about the minutes and the claims? It was brought to my attention, we have a claim for St. Asger We Saints Daycare, $100,000. We have promised them that, and we will honor that, have no doubt about that. But, and they gave us a really nice update as far as, you know, what they're doing, what their plans are. But technically, I haven't seen anything where they've actually started where they have a bill yet or anything. So I'm wondering if we should hold off a little, because that's interest that we can be using ourselves. What do you guys think?
I agree. It should be no different than any other prepaid bill like we've had in the past. I won't bring up the business, but Shannon come down and told us it's in our best interest to keep that money in our account and draw that interest until it is due. So I would agree that we would want to keep that funding in our account so we draw that interest.
Mm-hmm. And Stan, it's on page 31 if you want to.
I'm just getting there right now.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll wait a minute and get your opinion.
Well, as long as it's understood, we're gonna give it to them.
Oh,
I think
for sure.
I think that, and I think we should do that before the end of the year, just because, again, with the new Board of Supervisors, they would not have to honor that.
Well, maybe they'll break ground by then.
Well, regardless, I mean, by December 31st, we ought to honor it.
Well, that wouldn't be on any different than any other project. If it's
Well,
a project that's on the books, you give it to them.
I don't think we'll have a problem with the new supervisors.
Again, we shouldn't, but again, a new Board of Supervisors would not have to honor that.
I don't know the
Mark,
legalities.
are you on, Mark?
Mark? Nope.
You know, he's there.
Well, when he's on, we'll.
Yeah, I'm on.
Yeah. When we've promised something to the St. Ansgar Daycare, and they don't technically get started on it till next year, and so we wait to give the money then, are the new supervisors, are they supposed to be
Would they
honoring
be
that?
obligated to honor that request?
That falls into the definition of who knows, because there's plenty of cases that hold that a board, you know, can't bind a future board, but, you know, it's done all the time. You guys borrow money and the future board has to make those payments. So, you know, it gets down to, well, you can't bind a future board, but sometimes you can. But I would say if you're concerned about it at all, tell them they need to get you a bill before the end of the year so you can get it approved. Now, that's just my recommendation. I would probably tell the new board they have to honor it, but if the new board says we're not going to, you know, then you end up in court.
Well, I can share, the person who emailed me, I can certainly email her back and suggest this, that they get something
Well, and
going.
the thing of it is, if we approve of it, we don't have to pay it right away. I mean, it wouldn't have to
Right.
be paid.
It's already been approved.
Well,
It was approved a year ago.
Yeah, it's approved. I'm not worried about that. That's approved.
Well, my concern would be, and my job is always to play play devil's advocate. If I'm, looking out not for your board, but for their board, you guys have approved it, but you've never approved the claim, so to speak, or, so that it can be paid, so they could say, well, we approved it, but we never really appropriated the money, so, we're not gonna pay. And, they'd probably lose, but still, now they're in court, they spend $20,000 for attorney's fees, and they don't get the money for another 3 years. So, now I don't think that's gonna happen, it would be political suicide, I think, for the next board to do that, but they could if they wanted to.
Maybe we can just be careful about how we make our motion, that we make it clear that we are still honoring this. We're just not giving the money until some of the bills start coming in. Does that sound okay?
Like I said, what
Okay.
happens if the next board just says, we're not gonna pay it? The old rule is possession is 9/10 of the law, and that sometimes turns out to be true, because what if the new board just says, we're not gonna pay it? Go ahead and sue us. My job is to think up worst case scenario, and if the new board just says, we're not gonna pay us, we're not gonna pay it, well, Sinastra probably sues them, and Sinastra probably wins, but like I said, they don't get the money for 2 or 3 years, they spent $20,000 in attorney's fees, and maybe they lose. So, if you want to be cautious, do it before the end of the year. That's just my advice.
We'll just revisit it later.
Okay. Do we need a motion to take that out of claims?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll move that we take that out of claims for the time being.
And that we revisit it
We'll revisit that.
before the end of the year.
You could do a motion to approve the minutes, approve the claims with the exception of that claim.
Correct.
Approve the agenda, approve the claims.
Or excuse me, the minutes and
The minutes and the claims.
Okay, minutes and claims, move to approve the minutes and the claims with the exception of that the daycare
$100,000.
bill of $100,000.
Claim number 48568.
thank you.
Thanks.
48568.
48568.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Gotta have a second.
I'll second that. All in favor, any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, motion is approved, and I have no problem with revisiting this later. Okay, Sheriff, do you have something for us today?
Good morning, I really don't, unless you folks have something for me.
I had a call last night, and maybe this is more for Engineer Brum. Apparently, there's a semi-trailer now parked at New Haven, and it might be in the county right-of-way.
So I did see that call in our log, and the other part of that was that a neighbor was gonna have that moved. And that was as of yesterday, so let me check on that, but we would have to determine if he's in the right of way for us to have the authority to move it. But I am aware of it.
Okay, thank you, Sheriff.
Yeah, thank you guys.
County Engineer, Rich, are you on the line?
Am,
What you got for us?
You guys have to.
Not a whole lot. Like Greg was just saying, it would probably be something we'd have to call Greg on if there was a right-of-way issue anyway. We don't ticket him, but he would. But anyway, we're doing cruiser up, doing some patchwork north of Statesville. We got a crew over by the landfill over sawing those expansion joints in the pavement, those experimental ones we've been doing that seem to help. And in addition to that, I'm reviewing some quotes for another excavator, a smaller one we've been testing out. up, we're looking at, somewhere around, anywhere from $160,000 to $180,000, depending on which machine we go with. So I'm just giving you an update on that.
There was two of them.
Why? We're still waiting for delivery of our new plow truck yet. That was ordered last June. Last time I inquired on it, it was supposed to be mid-September, then it was now mid-October. So I'll make another inquiry this week to find out where it's at. But obviously that affects last year's budget and this year's budget, so we're going to have to amend on equipment anyway, along with some other things that got carried over. But just giving you an update on that. Do you guys have any questions for me?
I do not.
I have none.
Okay, I guess we're good, Rich. Thank you.
All right, I'll stick around in case any questions come up.
Sounds good. Okay, Mark, County Attorney, do you have anything else for us?
I do not have anything else.
Okay.
Well, and Rich,
Oh, go ahead.
did he come up with the number of feet or miles or whatever that we paved in Osage so we could do a comparison of Osage and St. Ansgar?
No, I haven't had time. I've been working on plan sets. I can come up with that. I know that we did, back in 2009, I know we did, I think it was Kirkwood Avenue from Highway 9 south to, I think, Lime Kiln, and I think there was also, I want to say it was, I might be wrong, was it First Street or whatever from Lime Kiln out to, or something like that. I know those were all resurfaced the first year I came on board with the county, and I think that was TIP money. I'm not sure, and then we did whatever we did south of Osage here with the STP money from with the county city split, things like that. But I don't have a definite
also
number.
had
I know
10th
I
Street
came up
too.
with a while back. But
I think we had 10th Street by the apartments and that too.
yeah, I think part of that was, I don't remember how much of that was ours and how much was city. I don't remember how far. I know we paved.
That was all cities that we paved from the city-county line up to Sunshine.
So you're saying that where the concrete overlay left off, the asphalt was in the city limits?
We paved from 370th Street, the county portion, and we continued on the city portion up to Sunshine. That would have been, I would assume, shy of a quarter of a mile.
You're talking from Sunshine going north up to them building site, to the north building site.
Well, you basically, where are we at? It doesn't show. Oh, no.
Laurel Avenue.
Okay, Laurel, yeah.
Yeah,
right here.
Laurel.
We went from here all the way
See,
to
this is
Sunshine.
Sunshine,
Yeah.
and this is right to, that's where the end of the building site grove is.
Right, but I mean, we paved that time, this was gravel. We paved this gravel and we went all the way to Sunshine.
So the county paid the city's portion?
That is correct.
I'm bringing it up now on the map so I can, 10th Street, I know the overlay, we did come in. Overlay is, our concrete overlay, our concrete pavement stopped at the city limits, but I do remember, I think this was 2009, there was asphalt from the city limits to not quite past that facility there to the south, or was it further yet?
We went to Sunshine.
Yeah, all right, they went to Sunshine, yep. I see there's a patch there, but I think there was some sanitary sewer work done. So yeah, was that asphalt paving, that was county then? County paid for that? Well,
I
that was,
believe so.
if that was county, that was TIP money, correct?
I don't remember. All I remember is that we did pay for it.
Maybe you
Well, I
can
think
find
that would have been TIP money because that, I think, along with Kirkwood and First Street, I believe, were the two other roads.
What year did you guys think that was?
That was when Jim Hyde was here yet. That was, I think those were done prior to me coming on board with the county, whether it was late 2008 or 2009, I don't recall.
Not been TIF then.
So you don't think it would be TIF?
Yeah, I think it was TIF. It would have,
Okay, Lowell thinks it might not be, so I guess we'll have to,
oh, well,
Maybe you can look it
whether it
up,
was
Laura.
TIF or local money, I guess, I don't think it was, it wouldn't have been farm to market money because they're not farm to market routes. It would have been
Right, but I
local
don't
money
think-
somehow.
We did not have to ask Osage permission to do a TIF on a TIF. I mean, we'd have had to do that in order to pay for it with a TIF.
I think that's
Like I
before,
said, I know.
that was
like I
done
said,
before TIF was instituted here. As I recall, so.
okay.
Well, in any event, let's try to come up with that next week if we can, Engineer Brum.
Yep, I can, there's about a half a mile there, and, yeah, I'll give you a number.
Okay, thank you, Rich. Do you have anything else? Because it's about time for us to start our public meeting
I don't.
hearing. It's a little nitpicky here. Okay, thank you, Rich. Okay, it's 8:45. We will start our public hearing on selling property, the county property to Randy Johnson. And have you guys read that resolution 1071-20? And I know we've discussed it in the past and nobody had any concerns about it. Has anyone received any oral or written comments prior to this meeting?
I have none.
I had somebody just ask where it was at.
Okay, and I haven't had anything. Lowell, did you want to add anything to this?
No, I haven't had any.
Okay. Do we have any public comments on this?
Can I ask where it's at?
Okay, can you describe where it's at?
This is the piece of ground that's up there, 1 mile north of Stacyville and back east. It's
Oh, by that bridge.
It's-
It's the
small.
piece of dirt that the old road used to be, and it would come into what Johnson owns now,
Yep,
and up by Jack.
yep.
Fisher.
I know exactly
Yeah.
where it's at.
It's
Anyways,
just a little-
Johnson wants to take that piece of dirt back over,
Okay.
which makes sense.
Makes sense, yeah. Connects to his property.
Did you have something, Dave?
How much land would it be?
Oh, it's small.
Half an acre, probably.
Oh, it might be a little more than that.
It's just the right of way, the old road bed.
Yeah.
Rich, this is Mark Walk. How long has that property been abandoned? I mean,
I don't even remember. I know I looked at all the information.
15 years.
I'd
long
say
before it's
that
been-
is not 20.
Go ahead, Mark.
15 years or so.
Oh, it's been at least that. It's
Yeah,
been at least that. I've been here for going on
No.
12 years, and it's been longer than when I got here. When that new bridge was put in, and the old Fisher Bridge was taken out, that road was blocked off. I think maybe called level C or level B or whatever. But really, all they're getting back, the property in the middle or whatever was there. I don't know that all that property was city right of way or county right of way, but we're just giving the right of way back.
Anyway, quite
We
some
don't need-
time ago. Okay, with no further discussion then, we'll close the meeting. At
Public hearing.
The public hearing at 8:47.
That clock is
48.
slow.
That could be. But that's what time we opened it, so. Okay, and then we need to approve or disapprove selling of the actual county property now then.
I shall move to approve the sale of that property to Randy Johnson, the old right-of-way.
Second?
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, with no further discussion, that is approved. And that was that resolution 1071-20. Okay. Apparently, we have a liquor license wanted for the VFW, post 7920. I guess I don't have an actual sheet on that.
All the paperwork in order?
Yes, it is.
Well, veterans need to be doing a little drinking. I'll make the motion to approve.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The liquor license for the VFW is approved. Okay, meetings, I just have one, northeast, well, let's just call it workforce development. We discussed Hawkeye Community College letter of intent was actually decided to be tabled. Some more new information came up. We, as far as our 2080 shared liability agreement, we just have Howard County left to sign theirs, and I imagine theirs is taking longer because they had a supervisor that attended these meetings pass away. We made a few more changes with our fiscal agent contract with Central Iowa Juvenile Detention. And we, for the local workforce board, we have a large number of applicants now, but we still need a labor organization person. And the two people that I got, I might not be able to get both of them actually approved, just because we're supposed to be even for gender balance, and we have too many males right now, and then we also have to balance the political parties. So I'm not sure how that's coming out yet. We voted to have Heather Garcia assist us through this process of the local area alignment at $40 an hour. She has had experience with this, and it may be just a temporary position. We don't know yet. And for the new local development board, we'll make sure that we have a first agenda to help them out, and when the time comes, we'll all help with reminding them of their first meeting. It'll probably be a Zoom meeting, and so we're gonna actually have a trial run on this next Thursday to make sure everything's in place the way it should be for them. And that's all I've got.
I don't have a meeting this week, but I'll have 3 next week, so passing it to Stan.
I had Council of Governments yesterday, and healthcare, it was time to renew our policy. And basically there's 16 people down there in Council of Governments that are on the healthcare. Initially, it was requested that our premium go up by 58%. And the only thing that they could justify it on is that possibly in the future we could have cancer, people having cancer or people having whatever. And I've never heard of this before where we worry about the future. I mean, insurance always used to be taking your past history, and that determined your cost and so on. Joe had them do some more digging, actually increase out of pocket from $4,000 to $5,000 in that, and they had a policy then of an increase of 34%, which still is way too high. I mean, that's basically $1,000 per person per month for health care anymore. And of course, we won't know what ours is until about the middle of December. I mean, that's always when we get ours. But if this is going to be the trend, wow! I mean, that could really put a. And again, I don't know why. I mean, we haven't had any big claims in that. I mean, this is that was very discerning.
Do you think it's all on projections with COVID?
Yeah, they didn't really say anything about that, but again, I really feel that can be the case.
You wonder.
And The other thing that, let's see, where is that at? Well, here it is. Here's transit ridership. And we were up to about 28,000 rides per month back in a year ago, August, September. Of course, winter goes down a little bit. Here's where the COVID come in, and we dropped below 5,000. We're coming up a little bit, but as you can see, we're substantially way below. But the good news is that, again, the federal government came through with monies on that first stimulus, and we will not be hurting at all for transit for at least 3 years. And so even though ridership is way down, we're able to cover the costs. And so next month, our new administrator begins. Joe will stay on yet for 2 months, and we're hoping to have an in-person meeting again in November. So that was my meeting.
Okay. Is Joe gonna strictly be retired? Or he hasn't decided?
He hasn't really decided what's happening.
Okay, all right. I would have had a Heartland workshop, but that got canceled. Manure management plan updates. Oh, please.
Just one today.
Oh, okay.
It is Jonas Z. Lee, 3760 Primrose Avenue, Osage.
Okay. And then everybody has the clerk's monthly report of fees collected.
So noted.
Okay. And yes, it was so noted. Okay, do we have any public comment? Yes.
I was just wondering on that property, what did it sell for?
Pardon?
What did the property sell for? The Randy Johnson Fisher property?
Stan, you want to answer that?
No?
I guess basically,
I didn't think it was
know.
anything.
Oh, you just gave it back to him, is that what it was? Well,
Yeah.
You know, it says sell.
Yeah, I don't
really
think,
has
I
no-
don't
It says
think
sell
money
on
was
county
involved,
property, so
it's
that's what I
not,
thought there was
It really has no value.
It's
Well, I know
virtually
it is.
wasteland.
Well, I know it is.
Sat full of water when it was a road after a
Yeah,
hard rain.
and that's why I wondered whether.
yeah, I don't believe any money was
Okay,
involved.
it just says selling, that's why I wondered, you guys didn't mention.
And we
My
really just,
understanding that because it's roadway right away and it wasn't owned by the county, it just, the easement that we had for the
It's
right
not
of way
like
is
we
just.
really had it.
We're just giving up our easement.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, it had the word selling in there, so I thought there was.
Oh, yeah, I guess that is a little misleading.
Yeah, so that's what I just wanted.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have a
I
question.
think the only thing the board required was that, all the attorney's fees and stuff were paid by the landowner, is that correct? All the paperwork was paid for by the landowner.
the purchaser. Correct,
By Randy.
correct.
I have a question. If that's this is just a question, if there was an easement on that, right, and Johnson buys it, then does that easement still go with that property? Say there was a 99.
That kills the easement. In other words, that turns that property back to his, being that it was a public right of way, anybody could have gone down it or done whatever. And what he's done is he's returned it back to his.
Let me answer it this way. Every road in the county, except what used to be state highways, they were all formed with easements. And so every time there's a farm sale, that easement stays with,
That's what I'm asking.
yeah. I mean, you don't have to get a new easement in order to keep that road going, and that easement went with, stays with the
The
county.
property descriptions that are there show the dedicated right-of-way to the local public agency for roadway purposes. And what this did is just took that easement back out of those properties. As it turns out, the property on both sides of the right-of-way is owned by the same person. Had it been two different landowners, each landowner would get their half of the 66-foot right-of-way.
Okay, your question was
I'm
answered.
just curious.
Anyone else? Okay, just in time for you to get out of here, Stan. Meeting adjourned.